history. And as North Carolina is hosting for the first time since 2015, they want to get back for the second time in the last 4 years. Early pressure you're seeing from West Virginia as Usby handles the rock and sends it back to Rennia Kelly at the top of the key. Maya Forsberg, Julie Kromenhoek, Kenneth Nash, the officials for tonight. As the Tar Heels start off with the rock in their white jerseys. Early seal by Maria Goctang, gets her own rebound, blocked at the rim.
And the Tar Heels, they're going to look to neutralize them with their size, get into Goctang early, but that is excellent defense from West Virginia.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Capital One. West Virginia up first. J.J. Quinterly and Jordan Harrison put on a show in the first half. But something to be mindful of. This is a fast-paced team, defense everywhere, as the first points on the board by India Navarre. But going back to J.J. Quinterly and Jordan Harrison, they had 32 points at half. They outscored Columbia by themselves in the first half.
Absolutely, 11 and 10. That is who West Virginia relies on heavy, but they're going to have other players step up against this stout defense that North Carolina brings.
And here's the starting lineup for the Tar Heels. Lexi Donarski, how about the game she's coming in off of? Had 5 threes, the most in the tournament since 2022 by a Mabry, of course. Finished with 19. And Alyssa Usby with the rock over the shoulder, gets on the board. Solid start by North Carolina, who had an early emphasis in the practice and shoot around of how to be poised, how to take care of the rock against this stingy defense that you mentioned for the Mountaineers.
Absolutely, they're going to play the angles game, zip the pass, step to the pass, do whatever they can to take care of the basketball, and that's an area that they're really good at.
5 on the shot clock. Shaw pulls up, nothing there, off the fingertips of Alyssa Usby, but mindful it's just 1 second left on the shot clock for West Virginia to work with. Mark Kellogg in his second season, what he's been able to do with this group, back-to-back looks that he's been able to see in the NCAA tournament, and the most for a coach in the first 2 years, as there's a shot clock violation for West Virginia. We were talking about the Mountaineers and their defense to start the show, and rightfully so. But North Carolina is very intense as well on that end.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, they've got the size. They're active in the passing lanes, active in the paint as we've seen. They're giving that smothering energy in the paint to keep West Virginia, who's quick off the bounce. That's where they're looking to go.
Lexi Donarski pulls up, drains it for the long two.
Lexi Donarski looking to do exactly what she did in that game against Oregon State. And how about it? Seeing her get it done early from 3.
The pull up top by Blackston, no good. And Alyssa Usby, the rebound machine, comes down with another one.
And I'm not mad at that shot by Blackston either. She can stretch and pull it out and shoot it from 3. They're going to have a dynamic look, multiple players involved offensively.
Rennia Kelly pulled up off to the right. Took an awkward fall. Jordan Harrison had to pull out and saw the length of Maria Goctang. Tries to thread the needle to the corner. Off the glass, good look. Kaya Watson, an all-around player.
An all-around player and someone who coaches really wanted to test and see step up on the offensive end. How about that defensive pressure by West Virginia?
It's quick. It's like they teleport. Right after a make, they just find a way to get to their spots on the floor.
But that's what I find so impressive is that switch in your mind from offense to defense, and they do it so well. They do a great job finding their men in that full court to just cause havoc and disruptiveness.
JJ being guarded by Donarski, the lockup queen.
You said it, the lockup queen here. Just look how active Donarski's hands are. Look at her feet moving. Look at the pinch. Look at the help from all the players. She's not just being guarded by Donarski, she's being guarded by everyone. It's going to take a group effort on Quinerly.
A gentle reminder that Lexi Donarski, while she was at Iowa State, was the Defensive Player of the Year and first team as a sophomore. She can get it done, and we saw that in the Big 12. No pun intended that they're going against a Big 12 team now. The tap away actually drew contact. So Maria Gate had help up as Kylie Blackstein picks up her first foul.
You see Kaya Watson went in there to steal it, but Blackstein off balance, fell on the back of Gate, so that's where the foul came from.
Early emphasis to get Maria the ball in the paint. Waited for the help to move, and short. Got the rebound back, foul, and we'll get 2 free throws. The early look for Maria, what do you like about her activity?
They've got to continue to establish her. This is someone who has been dominant in this stretch all season long, actually, for UNC. And when she was up against Blackstein, she had that strength advantage. You saw her playing a little bully ball. Now she's in there against Thomas. She's going to use that foot speed, and I love the footwork out there in the paint.
Thomas just picked up her first foul as we look at Maria Gate and how she's improved, going back to the absence of Alyssa Usby when she was out with the knee injury for 4 games. Guess what? Maria Gate was averaging a double-double, shooting close to 70% from the field during that stretch.
And what I'm most impressed with is a lot of the rebounding slack that she's picked up in the absence of Alyssa Usby, specifically on the defensive end, which complements that defense that they play with, holding teams to just 1 shot.
North Carolina with the 5-point advantage as we're approaching the halfway point of the first quarter. Only 1 field goal going down for Watson so far for West Virginia, and a foul at the rim.
And this is what I like for West Virginia, to continue attack, find those gaps. They still have that advantage with the foot speed. If they can get in and draw contact and make some money there at the charity stripe, that'll bode well for them offensively.
Jordan Harrison coming off of a game against Columbia where she matched her career-high 23 points. She had 6 assists. At one point, she had all the assists for her team. Just such an impressive player, the junior out of Oklahoma City. Lines it up for the second one and drains it. Usby gets it at the top of the key, off the bounce in the middle, and couldn't kiss it off the glass. Ripped down by Kaya Watson. Harrison taking on the committee and coughs it up. Second turnover for West Virginia, gives points to the Tar Heels off the tray for Kelly.
This is where the Tar Heels can be dangerous, when they get that stop defensively and get an open floor in transition, and that was a great kick to Kelly out from 3.
Coach Banghart and Shootaround said, play fast, but play our style. That was indicative of what that means. Travel call for J.J. Quinerly in the 4th turnover for West Virginia.
The momentum has been in favor of the Tar Heels. You can feel it from the crowd. How about them putting on that defensive intensity, converting on the other end? Renaya Kelly from 3.
Well, let's check out how North Carolina is moving on. Brought to you by United Airlines. We flash back to Lexi Donarski in the first round when North Carolina took down Oregon State 70-49 off of her second half performance.
Absolutely. This is an Oregon State team with so much size, 2 feet in the paint, 2 players with feet in the paint at all times. So that's where they were able to capitalize from the 3-point line. And Lexi Donarski lit it up in the 3rd quarter. She had 5 threes in the 3rd quarter. most in NCAA tournament quarters since 2022.
It's crazy that you talk about a senior setting the tone when she had the first 14 points in the third quarter. Gentle reminder, they were only up by 2. Oregon State had a run where they had the lead at one point, but when Lexi Donarski stepped on the floor in the second half, it was a different time. She outscored Oregon State 18-9 in the third quarter alone.
I mean, that completely changed the momentum of the game in that quarter alone. And this is a player already got a 3. So things can get pretty dangerous if they let her get hot from outside.
The pressure as Renee Kelly quickly swarmed. And they're able to get it up the floor. Lexi Donarski tripled right off the mark, but that's somewhere she loves to get the ball on the wing after breaking the press.
Right now, UNC doing such a great job with that, too. They only have 1 turnover, actually turning the tables because they've turned West Virginia over 4 times, in which they have 6 points off of those turnovers.
10 on the shot clock for West Virginia. JJ Quinterly trying to get something going, has yet to get on the board with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Harrison tried to find space and airmails it left. Locked in are the Tar Heels on the defensive end.
It is that length, their presence in the paint. Players are pinching in. I mean, JJ Quinterly, as I said, she's got pretty much 5 players guarding her.
Usby guarded by Watson. The quick grab and a foul is going to be called as Lainey Grant attempted the 3 ball. She'll get 3 at the charity stripe. JJ Quinterly will be charged with the foul.
And Quinterly and Coach Kellogg both look confused, but from my angle, it did look like she came down in her space as she was coming down from the shot.
Media timeout will be official review to determine if it was a 3-point shot or a 2-point shot.
So the review
plays
that
are
we're
reviewed to
seeing from
determine
Mai
the number of free
Forsberg is if
throws
it's going
for
to
the
be
shooter that
a
was
2
fouled.
or a 3. As her and Julie Croman-Hook at the monitor to check on that now. So North Carolina with a efficient start here in the first quarter, had the 10-4 advantage with 3:36 left. Well, the NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? The first round is presented by Intuit TurboTax. Now this is Taxes.
If you're visiting family, why don't you fly better? "16 flights a day from the U.S. to wherever they may be."
We'll probably have to amputate.
I'll get some 3D images.
Innovation changes everything.
You'll be fine.
What about Bobby?
One ETF, 100 innovators rethinking the world. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
You got the tickets?
Vivid Seats has legit tickets for legit fans. From concerts to sports and everything in between. Vivid Seats makes scoring great deals on great seats. Fast, easy, and reliable. When it's something you can't miss, Vivid Seats doesn't miss. With the only ticket company in the game that rewards you for buying. Vivid Seats, official ticketing partner of ESPN.
2. And so 2 shots coming up for Lainey Grant after the foul for JJ Quinterly.
And North Carolina, they're doing an outstanding job defensively. Look, Quinterly has the ball. Look at Lainey Grant pinching in, collapsing defense. Not giving her anything easy. You see it even here with Harris. You see Gakeng in that drop coverage here, forcing tough shots and then ending with a box out, everybody on a body. I mean, they're executing on all cylinders defensively.
It's like a string. If one person moves, you see the next move. You saw it in shoot around where the high gap, the hedge, everyone knows where each person is on the floor, and they move by a committee.
Everyone knows their role. They know who they're guarding. They know the personnel, and they know that when either Quinterly or Harrison has the ball, they all have to be in help.
Grant knocks down the first of the pair, and this is the 6th player to now score for North Carolina. And on the other side, West Virginia only has 1 player with a field goal.
And you're right on point with that. That's where North Carolina is getting their best and gaining this tempo offensively is through their dynamic attack. They've got multiple players scoring.
The dish out. Shaw turns down the look. More movement. Harrison, top of the key. Second chance opportunity. Shaw off the bounce, found the lane, and there she goes.
All they got to do is break down that defense. A second chance opportunity. How about another chance here?
Quinerly with the steal. Shaw. And box out by Grant will hold off Watson, but that's how quick West Virginia can get you caught off guard after they score.
Absolutely. When you get a stop, you still have to do your work offensively and play with some poise. Just their presence alone just kind of takes you out of character. You saw Lainey Grant there with a double dribble.
It's that run and jump, baiting you to make the pass, and then right away, they just swarm you. Third turnover for the Tar Heels as Quinerly now gets her first field goal of the game.
That's such a great look. Getting into the paint, they backed off of her, so she was able to quickly elevate and get a mid-range.
Usby looking for help, sends it across the court. Grant, jump by Watson. And an ill-advised pass on the inside. West Virginia, this is where she gets so good. Harrison comes down with the rebound, almost touched the ceiling as Shaw couldn't knock down the triple. Maria Gagne, it's a foot speed, trying to get to the ball. And how about the activity for West Virginia? They're trying to get some type of offense going.
And it started with that defensive possession. It was so good, the way they were able to blow up handoffs. But then look here, this is what March is all about. You want to win games, you got to get bodies flying on the floor. Look at Usby, Quinerly, Lainey Grant, tons of bodies flying on the floor, itching to get the ball and gain possession.
Pass on the inside, but fouled underneath. So Blanca Thomas picks up her first personal, the second team foul, and more free throws on the way for West Virginia. Sydney Woodley checks in for the Mountaineers, and Sydney Shaw will take a break and a quick moment to have a conversation. So coverage of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues Thursday on CBS, TBS, and TruTV. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Woodley checks in and already disrupts. They need help. The entire bench for West Virginia is pointing their way. And they force another turnover. So 4 turnovers in the last minute and a half for the Tar Heels.
I love the activity that Woodley brings night in and night out off the bench. We saw against Columbia, too, how she instantly made an impact on the defensive end.
Quick pass on the inside, up and under. Beautiful by Jordan Thomas.
We talked about Thomas and how impressed we were with her. She can be the X factor offensively, neutralizing sort of that dynamic attack to keep another person involved offensively outside of Quinerly and Harrison.
8-0 run for West Virginia, who have found their stride, especially getting points off of turnovers. Off the mark for Thomas as we're approaching the final minute in the first quarter. Quinerly guarded by Grace Townsend. Harrison looking for help. Steps back, finds Quinerly. Wanted the foul, and nothing there, so that'll go out of bounds. And J.J. Quinerly saying that's the second time that's occurred.
I agree with Quinerly. I could tell from this angle, the way her body shifted, that there had to be some contact there somewhere.
Got an 8-second difference between the game and the shot clock as Grace Townsend gets it across half court. Sends it to the corner. Usby adjusts in and out, and that's what it's been for the final 4 minutes of this quarter for the Tar Heels.
And you credit the defensive intensity that's picked up for West Virginia. I think the offense has really got them going on the defensive end. Everybody helping, everybody clicking, and Watson, I mean, she's just done a tremendous job, tremendous effort on Usby and on the glass as well.
14 seconds left in this quarter. How about Jordan Harrison? Tries to hit it off the back of Townsend and does. They get it back for the final possession.
Love that effort by Harrison. Have another look at it. Just look at that defense, how active her hands are, and then she knows, I'm gonna hit it.
3 seconds left. Harrison almost lost the footing, finds JJ, back iron, and of course we're tied for every away game.
I mean, you talk about players wreaking havoc. That's exactly what he's looking to do. That, let me tell you something. In the middle of the crowd by himself.
And repping.
Chewing the gum, too.
A deep steal by Jordan Thomas. Quinerly didn't like it. Harrison triple. Good! And they lead for the first time tonight.
And that is exactly what they need to see. One from outside go in to balance the attack that they want to get offensively.
A slow start for West Virginia. Gets them the lead here in the second quarter. Emmy Navarre trying to dribble her way out of the trap, and it goes off her leg.
Started with the inside presence of Thomas, just drawing everybody's attention. The flare screen there, great execution for Harrison to be able to knock it down.
As we mentioned, 23 points against Columbia in the first round. And that's deflected by the length of Alyssa Usby. So 7 turnovers for the Tar Heels, 6 for West Virginia. Usby tried to get it underneath. She gets fouled. 2 free throws for Usby.
This is a great steal there by Usby. She recognized the mismatch that she had with Quinerly on there, went up, the help came there, was able to draw the contact. But it started with her effort on the defensive end. We saw the block that she had on J.J. Quinerly and sprint down to get that steal.
So North Carolina steps up to the free throw line for the...
Have another look at it. I mean, look at the execution here. Great steal there.
So splits the pair. North Carolina hasn't done well from the free throw line as a team this season, shooting about 67%. Harrison tried to split the trap. 8 on the shot clock. JJ asks for the ball, takes a look at the clock, and manages it out of bounds.
Everywhere JJ goes, that gap, those players are coming in and swarming and making it so hard for her. So she goes out. I know coach is going to talk to her, evaluate, see how she can get things going for herself, how she can get into the lanes offensively.
It's very rarely we see a frustrating look for J.J. Quinerly. She will have a seat next to the coaches. The dive from behind. Watson broke that one up, so 12 on the shot clock for the Tar Heels. Tar Heels are 23-1 on their home floor in the tournament. hosting for the first time since 2015 with their 5th consecutive NCAA appearance. Six on the shot clock. Rennia Kelly with the decision to make and goes into the chest of Harrison.
Call the offensive foul there. Ref said it was a push-off, and we'll have another look at it here. Yep, you can see the arm extend there as Harrison goes to the floor, and that's just excellent defense and footwork.
West Virginia gets the ball back with that 2-point advantage. I mean, we mentioned defensively how tough J.J. Quinerly is. Well, how about her, Jordan Harrison, as well as Kaya Watson, all the top 3 defenders and steals in the Big 12 last season.
All back for this season. I mean, what a luxury for Coach Kellogg and a nightmare for all those teams in the Big 12.
Mountaineers have been very patient with what they want on the offensive end. Another short shot clock. Harrison, too much juice on the glass. Didn't hit the rim. Got it off in time and off the mark. Rennia Kelly for the pull-up. And she has struggled from the field so far. Now 1 for 3. Tar Heel fans trying to get active in on this game as there is a foul that is going to go against Lexi Donarski. Her first as Alyssa Usby checks out of the ball game.
It's good to see Quinerly back in the game. As I know her coaches, her teammates have talked to her, trying to relieve that frustration a little bit because she's feeling all the pressure from North Carolina.
Right away, Quinerly dishes it on the inside to Sydney Woodley. She'll get 2 free throws. And we've seen a lot of that in the first round as well for Coach Kellogg. We'll see the tandem of Harrison and Quinerly as she's on the bench. So Rennia Kelly picks up her 2nd foul, and Sydney Woodley, who shot 77% from the free throw line, steps up for the first one. Good to see her back on the floor for them. I know she played against Columbia, had 8 points, just missed 1 field goal, but she didn't play against TCU. We mentioned that game on March 8th. They had 2 weeks off before they were able to play here in Chapel Hill. So coach saying that rest much needed to get Sydney back on the floor.
And a player indeed that they need back on the floor because she brings that intensity on the defensive end. You see the momentum and how she continues it, how she's active. I mean, look at her playing defense right now on Rennia Kelly. But just not enough. How about Rennia Kelly getting to the rim?
And a much needed bucket. Almost 8 minutes without a field goal for the Tar Heels. Quinerly lost the handle of it and surrounded by white jerseys. Lexi called her own number off the glass in 1.
Look at this defense here. Every time Quinerly goes to the paint, everybody on North Carolina is swarming her right now, which caused the turnover here, and then Lexi Donarski in the open floor. Look at the speed, the finish, count it.
Kaya Watson picks up the foul there as India Navarre was able to collect the rebound off the Lexi Donarski miss. I think it was more impressive. Lexi saw 3 black jerseys in front of her. None of her team was with her, and she said, no, okay, I got it.
I'm gonna keep going. I do more than threes. I can attack 1-on-3. That was just a tremendous finish.
Gives them the 1-point lead. India Navarre tried to tap it out of the hands of JJ. Lexi fixes the seams in and out. And Sydney Shaw, who has been a monster everywhere on the floor so far, comes up with her 2nd rebound. The kick out to Watson. High arcing tray, no good. Grant Wanted to foul, nothing there.
Now, that one was all ball, and that was excellent defense from Sydney Shaw.
Mountaineers 1 for 10 from outside. They found their money in the paint as well as at the free throw line. They've got 4 seconds on the shot clock. There's another miss outside. Grant said, no one's guarding me, and couldn't connect on the three. Both teams struggling from outside. North Carolina just 1 for 4. In West Virginia now 1 for 11.
That's because both teams are getting sped up. So much corralling in the paint. They're forcing those outside shots, baiting them into it. And both teams just playing into it.
West Virginia, it's about 7 threes per game, while North Carolina is about 8. And we finally get a whistle. And what a close game we have. North Carolina with the 1-point advantage.
If you're visiting family, why don't you fly better? "16 flights a day from the U.S. to wherever they may be."
Can you see a picture yet?
Not yet.
Not yet! Come on now!
What's that?
Just streaming the game.
Innovation changes everything.
Go left.
Go left.
Go left. Go left.
Go left!
Left!
With one investment, you can access the NASDAQ 100 innovators who are rethinking the world. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Adventure bigger in the all-new Nissan Armada.
That was fun.
Well, the NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. It's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. So coming up at halftime, Degree in the studio. Well, there's a classic battle in College Park. You know about that all too well, Asia. And Juju in primetime. Those two things go oh so well together. Double overtime for Maryland. They're up 3 at this point. I know you've been checking your phone a few times. Trying to check in on your Terps.
I'm literally over here shaking on the edge of my seat right now. But one thing I can say, the Terps, they can pull it off. They can pull it through. Sarah Tibiasu has hit some very clutch buckets. But, I mean, you can't count out Alabama either. The defense that they bring, they've got offensive weapons. They've looked really good all season.
Just down 3 with 1 second to go in double overtime, the Alabama and Maryland game. We appreciate you joining us here in Chapel Hill for West Virginia and North Carolina. The breakup by Blackson, couldn't bring it in though. 7 on the shot clock. Townsend sends it to Lexi Donarski. So the Tar Heels haven't turned it over in the last few possessions. That's a check box, but they also haven't found an opportunity to score. Both teams in a bit of a scoring drought. Tar Heels haven't hit their last 4. And West Virginia have missed on their last 6. You can see the dive in by Jordan Harrison, trying to make Alyssa Usby make a decision. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Grace finds Lexi, threads the needle, and a bucket finally goes for the Tar Heels.
That's a tough bucket by Lexi Donarski, and that's how you punish a sort of out of control closeout, a long closeout there by JJ Quinterly.
it's like a heavyweight fight, a battle trying to get points on the board for both teams. Both going against elite defense. The dive by Blackston goes.
And that's where I like West Virginia, when they're patient in their offense. Even if they have to go to their third option. What a block.
Tar Heels get it back. Lexi sends it to the corner. Grant triple. As we welcome you into Chapel Hill, West Virginia, the 6th seed going against North Carolina, the 3 seed, after a huge 3 by Lainey Grant to push their lead 22-18. And they'll get it back. This is how we've gotten to this point. It's all about the defense, especially in the first quarter. 9 turnovers for the Tar Heels. West Virginia trying to hold on to the rock as well with 8. But we've seen elite defense on both sides. Now that offense trying to get going for both sides.
And it started, you talk about those turnovers, it started with West Virginia. That's how they got down, but they've been able to pick it up. North Carolina picking things up offensively.
For the Tar Heels. The crowd feeling it and loving it. JJ sends it to Harrison. 3 on the shot clock. Blackston backdoor, couldn't connect. Can Harrison pick it up? And a shot clock violation will be called, which will be the 9th turnover for West Virginia.
That is a tough call there. I thought the contact was initiated by the offense, but they're going to call it on Jordan Harrison.
That's her first foul. Lexi left alone in the corner. And she has not shot well from there in the first half. They get it back, cross court, jumps out of the gym to get it. Alyssa Usby off the glass to no avail, and it'll go back to West Virginia. So Maria Gokdang picks up her first foul, the 4th team foul, with 27.6 on the game clock. And Kaya Watson checks in for the Mountaineers. Sierra Toomey will check in as well for the Tar Heels. As we're in our final seconds here in the first half. No player is in double figures. Points have been hard to come by for both squads. The kick out and the foul by Grant. So 3 on the way if it stands for Shaw.
And Courtney Banghart is gonna call Lainey Grant over, gonna call the team over to talk to them, but you've got to know in this situation, you just play good defense. Came down in her space as Shaw was coming down on the 3 from that closeout. She's gonna have 3 shots at the line.
Bottom of the net for the first attempt. She does get 3. Pretty efficient free throw shooter on the season, 84%. Didn't get any free throws in the first round. We're seeing a more aggressive look for West Virginia in this game. make it a one-possession game with 9.9. And a quick substitution, Sydney Woodley checks in for JJ. Usby finds Grant. Taking her time, getting across. Working the right side, only has 3 seconds. Pulls up, in and out three for Grant, and that will bring the first half to a close with North Carolina QQQ. And how about West Virginia, the third fewest points in any half this season? A good portion of that is because of Jordan Harrison as well as JJ Quinterly, who had a combined 32 points at half against Columbia and have struggled so far to find a rhythm here in this ball game.
And it's been the same for them both, just the bodies collapsing on them. North Carolina wants to force you to get into those third and fourth options, and I think for West Virginia, they got to have the patience and look to that.
5 on the shot clock. Kelly off the bounce to the left. Nothing there as Usby cleans it up at the buzzer.
I mean, that's what Usby does. She gets on the glass. You have got to get a body on her, block her out. You can't afford to give North Carolina second chance opportunities.
Trey no good for Shaw, and that's another area that has been a struggle for West Virginia. Now just 1 for 12 from deep.
Well, we saw Usby break that record in rebounds, and got to know where she is. You got to get a body on her. She just flew in there. Way to connect and give your team that second chance opportunity.
Picked up her second foul at this end of the floor. JJ saw every white jersey on the floor, but dished it off underneath for Kaya Watson.
You were right on point with that. Saw every single jersey, but instead of forcing the shot up, got the ball down as Watson snuck behind the defense. That's exactly what West Virginia, JJ Quinterly specifically, Harrison had to continue to do when they get swarmed by the defense.
JJ Quinterly, we did mention too the fact that she can get things going for her team. She had 7 assists in the previous game against Columbia and now finds her look at the rim.
Yeah, she definitely got calmed down in the locker room because now we're starting to feel her momentum. She is in her zone right now, having complete control thus far in the second half.
Jordan Harrison at the end of the bench getting a tap on the leg that she's all good. Going to the front of the bench as Maria Goctane. I counted 3 rebounds and a bucket.
Maria Goctane, a beast on the glass. She is under the basket right now. Look how she gets pushed under there. A tough shot there, but gets it again. 2 or 3 rebounds on that possession alone and able to count it, get the bucket. Now she's at the free throw line.
The second year here at Carolina, Maria Goctane, transferring from Boston College, has found her rhythm here in this system for Courtney Banghart. She has 3 points and a whopping 8 rebounds, leading the way for the Tar Heels.
And you can see all the work that she's put into her body, her ability to finish around the rim, her catches, and it's all paying dividends for North Carolina.
Turnover for West Virginia as Jordan Harrison checks back in the game. We heard Coach Kellogg before the game tell his team outwork and outlast. We feel like they are on AA batteries as the amount of output they have as Usby kisses it off the glass. 4 of their starters played 34+ minutes in the first round.
And that's what's tough, but that's what comes with March. You got to find a way to dig, push through that wall. This is a team in West Virginia that likes that fast plays. I know they're used to it. They are in shape. They've worked all season for this.
Long tray, no good. JJ poked it from behind for Indiana Navarre, but couldn't keep a hand on it So it goes back to North Carolina.
To be the heart and soul of this team. This is a good read. Just that vision, her looking to pass it off alone, caught Watson off guard, and she ripped directly baseline.
How fun is it to see Alyssa Ustby back on the floor for the Tar Heels? Where at one point in the season, we were not sure what her fate would be, being able to play in her last year.
I'll tell you one person who was sure, and that's Alyssa Ustby. She told everybody that she would be back here at home to be able to host. And it's just a pleasure seeing her out on the court.
Got fouled on the reach-in. It's going to go against Sydney Shaw. That's going to be her first. A lot of contact in the paint. And it says it goes against West Virginia. So JJ picks up her second. As you're looking at all the contact between her and Lexi Donarski, looks like there was a rough screen on the backside. Lexi gets it on the baseline and gets fouled in the process. Uh-oh, could that be on JJ? It is, and it's her third. So JJ tried to find a way to contest, instead picks up the foul, and now coach has a decision to leave his senior on the floor or trust her to close out the quarter.
Looks like Sydney Woodley, is there at the scores table, probably coming in to get JJ Quinterly.
And that is the case. So a player that does everything for West Virginia, the intensity on the defensive end, getting everyone involved on the offensive end, will take a seat.
And she really did just start to really see things, get things going for herself on the offensive end, for her team as well. So that's a huge loss right now for West Virginia.
Backdoor and the dish, good. It's the activity without the ball for West Virginia that has kept them in this game.
You have to take advantage when the defense is collapsing in on you, other players getting involved in that off-the-ball action, cutting to the basket, sneaking behind the defense is what's been working.
Lexi Donarski couldn't find the shot up top. She is 0 for 5 from long range. Harrison going at Kelly, tried to tap it up top, and a foul by Harrison as she lost the ball and grabbed Ustby.
Let's see, I thought that was too much dribbling at that time, but this is exactly how it needs to be done. Drawing the defense there, cutting off the ball. That was such a great pass from Watson to Woodley.
Now the Tar Heels in the bonus after a flurry of fouls for West Virginia. Lady Grant checks in for North Carolina. Indiana Barr will take a seat. As Ustby can't connect on the first. Tar Heels just shooting 54% from the free throw line in this ball game as Ustby improves the percentage just a bit. Had a look at her dad, Todd, who is very proud of his daughter. Be remiss if we don't mention her mom as well, Lisa. You know, her brother James is in attendance. Her younger brother couldn't make the trip. As there's a tip at the top by Maria Gotdang, but a nice finish at the rim by Watson.
I love the minutes that Watson's giving right now. She's giving her all on both ends of the floor.
Tried to get it up, and a foul, a late whistle on the putback attempt by Kyra Watson.
So Watson gets the steal here, saves it, gets it in, runs all the way, nearly full court on this miss to fly in for the rebound.
So Maria Gokdang will pick up her second. As Alyssa Usby will check out of the ball game. Treyana Crisp will check in. She has had a steal in 43 consecutive games. Coach talked about her activity on the defensive end that's led to their success.
He specifically called her the glue player for all the little things that she does. She doesn't have that same flashy game that Quinterly and Harrison bring, especially on the offensive end. But you can see her activity defensively, whether it's steals, on the glass. Her disruptiveness has been so invaluable.
One of 5 seniors on the roster here for West Virginia. Also spent some time at South Dakota, home state. Big part of the Big 12 all-defensive team. And this season was first in steals, and we saw it on display in that last series. Under the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter with Harrison taking on the challenge in the paint. She gets fouled. So Tar Heels commit the foul. 2 free throws on the way for West Virginia.
If you're visiting family, why don't you fly better? "16 flights a day from the U.S. to wherever they may be."
Anything?
Not yet. What's that?
Just streaming the game.
Innovation changes everything.
Come on now!
One ETF, 100 innovators rethinking the world. Before investing carefully, read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
You got the tickets?
Vivid Seats has legit tickets for legit fans. From concerts to sports and everything in between. Vivid Seats makes scoring great deals on great seats. Fast, easy, and reliable. When it's something you can't miss, Vivid Seats doesn't miss. With the only ticket company in the game that rewards you for buying. Vivid Seats, official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Well, the big question is what is all this for? What's at stake? Both teams trying to get back to the Sweet 16. And West Virginia seeing their second one, but their first Sweet 16 since 1992. And for North Carolina, they could potentially face Duke for the 3rd time this season. But reminder that Alyssa Usby did not play in the final match against Duke. She was out because of the knee injury. So when we brought that up to her, she said, "We are not looking past West Virginia. This is a tough team, but an opportunity to see them in my final year. Oh, I cannot wait."
Oh, absolutely. I know Alyssa can't wait. I know these fans can't wait. Heck, I know the whole state of North Carolina can't wait to see what could potentially be a rivalry matchup where they split the difference during the regular season.
Duke and North Carolina have not seen each other in the NCAA tournament. You check out a little bit of the history and look at how close and how good this rivalry, this series is.
I mean, that's incredible. And if that doesn't give North Carolina just an extra edge, a chip on their shoulder, motivation. But of course, as you said, Angel, they've got to take care of business here first, and this has been a great one so far.
How impressive has West Virginia been with J.J. Quinterly on the bench and Jordan Harrison? Her communication through everyone on the court. They can tie or take the lead on this possession. Blackston. No good on the 3, and the teardrop good as we're tied at 33.
That was great effort by Harrison. She ran down that rebound. That's how you track it and able to finish it off the front of the rim.
Coach Kellogg told us that he felt like in the last few games, his team relied too much on JJ on the offensive end. Now he's getting a taste of what it has to be without her on the floor. Watson with another one.
Absolutely, this is the ultimate test for the Mountaineers right now who are on the floor, how they can get it done. It's going to have to be multiple players, and they've got so many that can score. Shaw can shoot it from three. Blackson, we've seen her put up a couple ones. She can knock it down. And Watson, her efforts have just been great.
The dive to the rim, no good. Tara Watson with 7 points and 11 rebounds as Chris pulls up, in and out three. Blackson for the rebound. Off the glass, and the foul committed as Sydney Woodley gets helped up off the deck by her team.
And I love this, just to continue to attack, to be aggressive. Sydney Woodley, everybody is starting to realize that they have got to do their part offensively on the attack, being aggressive. And I just love that, being judicious on the attack downhill, trying to get to the free throw line.
West Virginia on a 6-0 run. They're outscoring North Carolina 12-9 in this quarter. Lainey Grant picks up her second foul. She has a conversation with Courtney Banghart at half court as Sydney Woodley steps up to the free throw line. 77% shooter, drains the first of the pair. Well, for the 5th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. And this is the first lead for West Virginia since the second quarter. Kelly pulls up.
It's a great take by Kelly. You know that your man gets caught up on that screen and able to find that gap, hit that mid-range jumper. I thought Blackson was a little backing up too much.
Navarre went up top to grab the rebound. Finds Lexi Donarski in transition. Quick 5-0 run for North Carolina. And an offensive foul.
This is where North Carolina is so dangerous in transition. Nobody's stopping Kelly, but she kicks it out to Lexi Donarski, who you cannot leave open in the corner because she will punish you from three.
Kylie Blackson with the offensive foul on that end. It's her third of the game, so she'll take a seat. Up and under, Alyssa Usby to count the bucket. 12 points for Usby, 4 rebounds to add. Deep seal underneath, mismanaged, and here comes the Tar Heels. Touch pass, Usby fouled by JJ, which will be her 4th.
Alyssa Usby is extremely versatile. The way that she can work from the perimeter, she knows she's got that speed advantage with Thomas on her, goes right by her. Have another look at it here. I love it, the reverse, the kiss off the glass.
See a lot of 1 jerseys in the stands as her family said, we are not going to miss an opportunity to watch you in your final time here at Carmichael Arena. I'm told they rented out an Airbnb or have a house here, actually.
As soon as his daughter made that commitment, they purchased the house here knowing that they wanted to come support their daughter Alyssa, and they've got the whole family here to do so.
Final 90 seconds of the third quarter. 9-0 run for the Tar Heels, and JJ Quinterly with 4 fouls. Blocked from behind, Indy Navarre, but Kaya Watson on the cleanup. 9 points and 12 rebounds for Kaya Watson. You talked about her activity. She's leaving it all on the floor. Kylie Blackston now, who just recently checked in the ball game, picks up her fourth.
Yeah, they're really picking on Blackston on the defensive end. And I love Usby just continuing to be aggressive and draw those fouls. She's getting on the glass. She's playing defense. She is all over the place.
Tirza Moore will check in the ball game for Blackston. As Usby connects. Alyssa Usby has 10 points in this quarter. Final minute in the third. The kick out to Shaw. Harrison didn't like the look. Will take more time at the top of the key. Finds Shaw again and just short of the three as Moore flies in for the rebound. They'll say it's on the floor. But that foul should put them in the bonus. So both teams in the bonus, 40.6 left as India Navarre charged with that last foul. That'll be her first.
And for West Virginia, I thought they did a great job being patient, trying to attack, get different looks out of that zone that North Carolina was in. And you credit Moore just crashing in on the glass. But you got to make it count from free throw.
West Virginia was shooting 80% before that last miss from the free throw line. Tirza Moore gets another one and connects. Everyone that has checked in for the Mountaineers in this game has scored. Got a 10-second difference, so if West Virginia can hold here, they'll have enough time for a good look on the other end. Harrison, the push-off, but more importantly, you look at Jordan Harrison, who had a weird ankle tweak.
Harrison, and she's trying to get this look a couple times. Oh, and you see it. She turned her ankle there, falling, and the crowd is a little perplexed. They thought that she might have fell there on her own.
So Renaya Kelly called for her third personal, but now Jordan Harrison, you just hate to see that. Has done so much in this ball game, especially in the absence of JJ Quinterly, who now has to check back in with the four. Just 20 seconds left in this third quarter, so just trying to get out unscathed.
I think for Quinterly, it's going to be super important for her to just be under control here offensively. Try not to draw and get an offensive foul called.
They've got 10 to work with. Quinterly got blocked by Navarre. 5 seconds left. Euro, count the deuce at the buzzer, and a run for parents, Lisa and Todd. But to just revisit her story, missed 4 games with this team late in the season due to a medial meniscus tear. The doctor said it would take 4 to 6 weeks to come back. She did it in 2. She said 24 hours after the injury, she got the surgery. 2 hours after the game, she got the MRI, but she mentioned, she told the doctor there was a lot of tough conversations. But she said she did everything that she could to get back on the floor for this team.
Everything. She took the scientific approach where she used all the machines, followed the protocol for her recovery, but then also a holistic approach in her diet. She journaled every day. She prayed, just keeping her mentally together, and it all paid off. I mean, to come back in 2 weeks.
The fight, the willpower, the senior, and Alyssa Usby. trying to advance to her second Sweet 16 in 4 years. Tirzah Moore picks up her second personal foul as Tar Heels will get it underneath. 20 on the shot clock. And an offensive foul going against Usby on that screen. So Alyssa Usby will pick up her third and get it back to West Virginia. And just great news to see Jordan Harrison on the floor. The bump by Grace Townsend. I don't think the fans have been happy at all tonight.
Not at all, but I mean, if we learn one thing, Angel, from just calling games all season long, and that's a tough one right there, but one thing we've learned is how tight these games are being called here in the fourth quarter.
Final 10 minutes, a Sweet 16 on the line. Watson sends it to the corner, more movement. Harrison, triple. And a continued three-point slump for West Virginia. Now just 1 for 20. A lot of contact as India Navarre had to slam on the brakes, but collides into Jordan Harrison.
Have another look at it here. India Navarre just getting ridden the entire way and got tripped up by Watson there. She takes the floor and then
So Kaya Watson picks up her second as we have a little bit of substitutions for both sides. Tirzah Moore will take a seat. Betsy held up by Watson. The double team on the inside, but too much activity with the hands for West Virginia as they commit another foul. It'll be the third on the team.
You know the way that it's being called tight. I like the look, the change in defense, how they're looking to crowd Alyssa Usby, but you've got to do it under control.
Jordan Thomas picks up her third as they get it back to Usby. And another foul going against Jordan Thomas, which will make her fourth foul. So now 3 players for West Virginia sitting at 4 fouls.
And that's a great read by Usby. She knows that she has the foot speed there. And just attack Thomas, who's in foul trouble already.
And one of them that has 4 checks back in. As Kylie Blackston back in the game for the Mountaineers. Usby again working the baseline and another foul. That'll do it for Blackston. Kellogg is lost for words.
I mean, that was a foul there. That was a hip check, and I only know this, Angel, because this is what I got called a lot for in my day. But for Alyssa Usby, yeah, you see the hands in there. You see the hip check there from the bottom. And you credit Usby just knowing her matchups and attacking.
So that foul will retire Kylie Blackston, which is unfortunate the way that the fouls piled up in the third quarter against West Virginia, the 5th-year forward. As her season comes to an end, she goes to the end of the bench to just, one, shaking her head, also getting a handshake from the rest of her teammates. Usby knocks down the first of the pair. 16 points now for Alyssa Usby. This is the largest lead for the Tar Heels. Courtney wants everyone out of their seats. Harrison short on the attempt, and India Navarre has been all over the glass. She now has 6 points, 6 rebounds, and Alyssa Usby piling in the points for a team-high 19. Timeout, A lot of time left, but the Tar Heels putting on a run for their largest lead.
This is exactly what they've worked for all season long. The opportunity to be here at home. The senior in Alyssa Usby is able to get things done. She is lighting it up, propelling her team into what looks like will be a Sweet 16 run.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? A couple of teams are still dancing. Duke advances after an impressive win over Oregon, and NC State, the Wolfpack swag surfing straight to the Sweet 16. And we have one final team trying to make it. Can North Carolina punch their ticket, as this is what it's looked like for their NCAA tournament history?
I mean, this is incredible when you see what they've been able to do, and I know that the Sweet 16 is at a grasp, but Angel, there is still so much more time left in this one.
So what does West Virginia need to do?
They've got to take care of the basketball. They've got to execute here offensively, find different options or looks. I like when they get to the free throw line, aggressive on their attacks.
The smothering defense, Harrison keeps it in bounds, works the baseline, collected the ball back, and that was about as wide open of a look she could have gotten. Tar Heels on a 16-3 run since West Virginia last took the lead. Navarre going at Moore too much, and Watson gets fouled on the India poke-in.
And I like this possession defensively for West Virginia. The biggest key for them here on the defensive end is that they're going to try to keep the ball out of Alyssa Usby's hands. They're going to have to be careful with the way the fouls are being called. I mean, Quinterly with 4 fouls is huge.
Kylie Braxton fouled out earlier in this quarter. Is Kaya Watson. Couldn't find the angle. Moore couldn't finish. That rolls off the rim, and that's what it's been like for the offense for West Virginia the last few series.
Got to connect there on those bunnies. I know it's tough.
Grant stripped, and Harrison found the rock and said, I'll just start the break from down here. So Grace Townsend commits her second foul as Renaya Kelly will check back in the ball game.
Harrison just from the ground starting that break, and Quinterly out. Grace Townsend riding her hip, and that's an easy foul call there.
Plenty of time left for West Virginia. Seeking their second Sweet 16 is Lexi Donarski. Is holding at her face. She picks up her second. Tried to reach in on J.J. Quinterly.
West Virginia looking to continue to be aggressive on that attack, and then Quinterly attacks here. You're going to get Lexi Donarski with that one. And that's what West Virginia's got to do. They've got to continue under control, but be aggressive on the attack and try to get to that free throw line.
We've had more whistles than points in this quarter. Both teams in the bonus, as those are the first points for West Virginia in the fourth. Connects on both. It has been a quiet night for J.J. Quinterly. 6 points, 2 for 10 from the field. Her season low was 10 against Oklahoma State. She has scored in double figures in every game this season. Alyssa Usby, check her footwork.
You throw 2 at her, it doesn't matter. She is so poised, so patient. She's in full control of her game on the offensive end.
Her third NCAA game with 15+ points and 5 or more rebounds. as there is a foul that is going to go against the Tar Heels. Some more free throws on the way. And if you want to find a way to get a rhythm, put the pressure on North Carolina's defense, stop the clock.
And that one-on-one defense is so much pressure. But so is Usby here in the paint, stepping through between two. Look at that poise and that patience. She is playing at her own pace right now on the offensive end. But Angel, you said it here. For West Virginia, JJ Quinerly is on a mission. She is looking to get to that free throw line. She's putting so much pressure on that defense for North Carolina.
There's one speed for JJ, and that's turbo. Connects on the second one. Now with 8 points. And Townsend putting on the Jets herself. Kisses it in, the block by Kaya Watson.
I mean, Townsend just completely beating the press, and that's a great draw pass there. But how about Watson? We talked about her, the glue player, the defensive effort, the SWAT.
Big 12 all-defensive team. Donarski kicks it to the corner. Too much strength on the attempt, but they track it down. It's about even on the glass. North Carolina with one extra one, but that's what it comes down to. Kaya Watson flying up for another rebound. She has 15. Usby thought she had a mouse in the house. Shaw did a great job keeping her off the block. That opened the lane for Anaya Kelly.
Yep, Shaw did a great job keeping her out of the block, and you saw how all those bodies from West Virginia focused on Usby, which opened up the floor.
Less than 5 to go in the ball game. Is North Carolina slowing down the pace of this one. 7 on the shot clock. Kelly, spot on the floor and too hard off the back iron. Quinerly didn't like the look going on the inside. Wisely pulls it out. And that's what it's looked like for North Carolina defensively. Gambling on those possessions. A very frustrated Quinerly. Courtney Banghart trying to will her team to a win. North Carolina with a double-figure advantage, trying to hold on for the Sweet 16. Well, let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. And Alyssa Usby has been everywhere on the floor.
I mean, she's a Swiss Army knife, and for her last go-round here in Carmichael Arena, she is putting it all out there on the floor between blocks, rebounding, taking you off the dribble. I mean, that was my favorite one there, the reverse kiss off the glass. Actually, I lied. This one right here, the step through to the layup, so smooth.
21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks.
And what isn't Alyssa Usby doing?
You know the vibes are at an all-time high when the swag surf is in full effect at Carmichael Arena.
Oh yeah, I'm over here vibing too with the swag surf. And again, you continue to talk about the advantages of being able to host at home. This crowd for the Tar Heels has been exceptional. They have definitely set the vibe and the tempo.
They call them Blue Heaven. Tar Heels 23-1 in the tournament at home. Trying to make it 24 for another Sweet 16 appearance. And more comes up a little gimpy. Just an 11-point lead for North Carolina. West Virginia also in the bonus, but haven't scored in the last 2 minutes. No players in double figures. A bunch with 8 and 9. Usby for the cross-court pass. 5 on the shot clock. As Navarre gets yet another offensive rebound. Donarski. Kelly. Maria finds the ball. And a lot of contact. It will go against Alyssa Usby. So that will be her 4th.
I mean, there was a lot of contact both ways in that possession alone. But yes, they're going to get Alyssa Usby, who tripped into Harrison as they were both going for the ball.
Go time for West Virginia. Final 3 minutes of the 4th quarter. Watson, Moore, Harrison, Quinterly, and Shaw on the floor for the Mountaineers. Costly turnover, the 15th of the game. Tar Heels sitting at 15 as well, but have the advantage, and they're taking some air out of the ball up top. And I almost forgot to dribble. 8 on the shot clock. Maria, deep seal, and the foul. How about the activity Maria Gateng has in the paint?
I mean, she just continues to work, and look how good this steal is. She got Thomas right there on the high side, and that was a good find by Donarski.
And that will be the 5th on Jordan Thomas. So the 2nd player fouled out for West Virginia. We talked about the upside for the freshman. Really impressed with her performance against Columbia with the 12 points, 9 rebounds in the 22 minutes she was on the floor. Like West Virginia and the community there should be very excited about what she can add next season.
Oh yeah, so much upside. I mean, she's been the X factor just in these games that we have covered. You talked about it, the performance she put on with Columbia, her size, the way that she's able to carve out space. She can just continue to grow in her ability to finish on the rim.
Maria knocks down the free throw. We're approaching the 2-minute mark in the 4th quarter, and how about this, Asia? West Virginia has not hit a field goal.
I mean, it's been one of those nights for them, and you credit North Carolina's defense, but again, for West Virginia to try to be able to grind it out, they're going to have to continue to try to get to the free throw line, attack the hip, get some fouls drawn.
So Indiana Navarre picks up her 3rd. And snapped the scoring drought for West Virginia. About a 3-minute scoring drought. So West Virginia 0 for 10 from the field, but 5 for 5 from the free throw line as Harrison knocks down another. 2:18 left in this game. North Carolina could advance to yet another Sweet 16. And who else on the other side? Duke, awaiting the winner of this one. Eight on the shot clock. And the tap away by Moore. Harrison surveying the floor. And just lost it. Final 90 seconds. Eight on the shot clock. Rennia Kelly left alone. Money ball. And a timeout for West Virginia. The 4 seniors for North Carolina feeling like they can advance past Carmichael. To think about the 5 on the other side for West Virginia. Sydney Woodley, J.J. Quinterly, who just had a frustrating night. 8 points, 2 for 11 from the field, had the foul trouble throughout the ball game, sitting at 4. Kylie Blackson, that was fouled out of the game. Kaya Watson and Tirza Moore. This is a team that had their 3rd consecutive NCAA appearance, lost in the 2nd round last year to Iowa. The coach talked about the resilient group. Everyone was bought in. The defensive side was electric, as we saw, but the foundation set for the next wave coming in for the Mountaineers.
Exactly. The way that these seniors have been able to grow this program. We talked about J.J. Quinterly. She stayed between 3 different coaching staffs here at West Virginia to be able to leave her legacy, grow this program, but all down the board. These seniors have been so huge. They have to be proud of themselves for the efforts that they've brought all season long to turn around this West Virginia program.
We can't say enough about J.J. Quinterly. First to 2,000 points, 300+ steals, rebounds, and assists. Had a back-to-back season with 600+ points. As the crowd on their feet for their seniors. Lexi Donarski, Alyssa Usby, and Maria Gotang will take a seat with 47.7 on the game clock, and Renaya Kelly at the free throw line. And the final substitution for the grad senior, Grace Townsend, that said, I want to continue my career, my last year in Chapel Hill. After spending 4 years with Richmond as the A-10 first team, and has been a remarkable addition for the Tar Heels, and we'll get to see more of them on the next round.
I remember that feeling, just being a senior, being able to host at home, but knowing that there's still some more basketball left to play. And I mean, you talk about what lies ahead for the Tar Heels. I know they are more than excited.
I'm going to go back to the conversation we had with Alyssa Usby. She said the main conversation is, we don't want this to end. This is our favorite group. And just to realize, she said, I'm wanting this for this group. And the connection, she said, when it ends abruptly. And to think about that makes you really lay everything on the line.
Absolutely, and not even just from the perspective of those seniors, but even Lainey Grant in the interview said that she wanted it for this group of vets that she loved so much, that led the entire season.
And so a jump ball will give it back to West Virginia. Something in me just wants JJ to score here, just needs 1 bucket to be in double figures for every game this season. It has been a rough go for her tonight. But as Georgia Amoore shared in her presser too, one night doesn't define what you've given for the 4 years. 13 seconds and counting until the Tar Heels officially advance. How sweet is it? Hosting for the first time since 2015,